Alright, hello 8th grade. So this is the chapter 9 review and here's how this is going to work. In the description below there's a link to a Google Doc. Go ahead and open that up. That's a doc of the review so you can follow along with what I'm doing here, because there are a couple problems where I didn't write out everything because there are a couple wordy problems there. So go ahead and open that up before you go on with the video so that you can follow along. While you're watching the video, go ahead and take some notes just like you usually would in class while we're going through the review. Yes, you can use them on the test. And so let's go ahead and get started. So again, I didn't write out all the directions for this. We just want to sketch a graph that has a positive correlation, a negative correlation, and no correlation, or association, I think is technically the word there. Correlation, association, same thing. So we want a graph that has a positive association. So remember, positive association means our points are going in a general upwards direction. And again, up meaning as we're going from left to right. So we're talking about up, we're going down, we're talking about what's happening as we're going from left to right, which is actually my right to my left, which is confusing, but this should be your left to your right. Okay, so positive. We're going in a general upwards direction, so you just want to put some, you probably can't see that. Okay, yeah, those dots are too small. Make those dots a little bigger. So in a general upwards direction, as we're going from left to right. And again, between individual dots, we could be going down. Like from this one to this one, we're going down, but in general, our dots are trending up. Whereas if we want a negative association, we want dots that are in general going down. And again, we could have a couple little ticks up here, like from here to this one, or from this one to this one. Yeah, we're going up. But in general, our dots are going down. And then no correlation, we just want something that's neither of those things. So again, dots all over the place here. Dot. Nothing going on here. No correlation, at least. I mean, obviously there's something going on. Okay, so positive correlation, negative correlation, no correlation. Pretty straightforward. Okay, this is the one I didn't write out all of, so if you're following along, there are a couple more words on the review. So we got 200 students who were asked whether they have a cat or a dog, and out of 89 who had a cat, 56 also had a dog, and 123 had a dog, and we just want a two-way table of this. So we're going to fill in all of our stuff. So if we have cats and dogs, we have people who have cats. We have people who don't have a cat. We have people who have a dog, and we have people who don't have a dog. And if you stuck the cats over here and the dogs over here, that's fine. And just a heads up that if you did that, your numbers are going to be flip-flopped around. So this thing will be there instead. That's fine. And then this is the total. And this is the total. Okay. So now we're ready to start filling things in. So if we have 200 students, that's our total. So that's going to go in our total row in our total columns. That 200, that's all the people we've got. That's going in there. Okay, so that takes care of the 200 students who had a cat or dog. And then we got out of 89 with a cat, 56 also had a dog. So that 89 with a cat, that's our total number of students who have a cat. So that's these cat people and these cat people. So that's our total number of cat people. So our 89 cat people are going there. And then 56 of those people also had a dog. So that's 56 of these cat people who also have a dog. So that's going in our cat and dog. So we got 56 people with a cat who also had a dog. And then 123 total had a dog, but that's not going here, because that's going here, because that's our total number of people who had a dog, whether they had a cat or not. So 123 had a dog. Okay, and now we're just filling in our missing spots. Because remember, we need to add up to our total over here. So if we have 89 and 200, we want something here that's going to add up to 200, and that's 111. And if you're not sure of that off the top of your head, just take your calculator, go and plug in 200 minus 89. That'll give you that 111. Okay, same sort of thing over here with the 123. 200 minus that 123 gives you 77. And we can do the same thing here. 89 minus that 56 gives you 33. And same sort of thing here. 123 minus that 56 gives you... Let me make sure I get that right. 26 gives you 67. There we go. Now, this last one, you could either go 111 minus 67, or you could go 77 minus 33. Either one of those will give you 44. And if you want to just double check, that should mean that this and this gives you that, and this gives you that. Okay. So if we did it right, all of our numbers at the end should add up to this. So this and this should give you that, that and that should give you that, that and that should give you that, and the same thing with our columns. So that's a good thing to double check at the end just to make sure all of your things add up right. Alright, there's a two-way table. Yay! Not too painful. Okay. Now we got some numbers, and we want the mean, the median, the mode, and a couple of other things that are on the next whiteboard. Okay, so the thing you probably want to jot down if you don't already have it somewhere is your mean is you add them all up and divide by your number of things. Your median is the one that's in the middle once they're in order from smallest to biggest, and these nicely, conveniently already are. Yes, they'll also be that way in the test. I'm pretty sure at this point you guys can put numbers in order, so that's not the main point right now. Okay, and mode is the one that happens the most. And really the big thing with those is just not getting them mixed around because they all begin with M. So that's your mean, that's your median, that's your mode. I would jot that down so you don't get them mixed around. Because as long as you don't get them mixed around, this isn't that bad. So if we want the mean, we're just adding up all of our things. So 4 plus 8 plus 8 plus 15 plus 15 plus 16 plus 23, 23, 23, and 42. So 4, 8, 8, 15, 15, 16. 23, 23, oops, 42, that's 72, gives you 177. Okay, so those all add up to 177. Let me erase that, so you get it by now. If you don't, just go back and rewind. So 177, and divided by our number of things, which gives you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, just a heads up that if you plugged all that into your calculator and then just divided by 10, either put parentheses around there, or hit enter before you divide by 10. Because if you just plug that in and hit divide by 10 without, hitting enter first, what it'll do is it'll take that one divided by 10 and then just add all the rest because your calculator is going to do order of operations. So if you get something that seems way too big, like if you did that, oops, and then you divided by, oops. So if you got something like 139.2, that's what you get if you left off the parentheses there, or if you didn't hit enter first. That's too big. So your mean should be somewhere in the middle of your numbers. You shouldn't get something that's bigger than all of your numbers, because this gives you 17.7. Okay, that's in the right range. We got some things that are bigger, we got some things that are smaller. You shouldn't get a mean that's bigger than all of your other numbers. That shouldn't be happening. Okay, median. We want the one that's in the middle. So we want in the middle of these 10. I'm going to erase these pluses. So we want the one that's right in the middle. Now, you may notice since there's an even number of things, we don't technically have one that's in the middle. We have two that are in the middle. Because if we go through and we start crossing off the ones on the end, okay, so it's not these two, it's not those two, it's not those two, it's not those two. Okay, these are in the middle, but there are two of them. So if we got two things that are in the middle, we're going to take the average of those. Now, if you happen to know off the top of your head, right between 15 and 16 is 15.5. Cool. If not, go ahead and take 15 plus 16, or if they're not numbers that are like right next to each other like that, like those two are nice. If you don't have numbers that are nice and next to each other, just take them, add them, divide by 2, and again, either hit enter before you divide by 2, or stick some parentheses around there, because if you just plug in 15 plus 16 divided by 2, your calculator is going to do that first, and then you'll get like 23. You don't want 23. And again, you should be able to tell if you did that, because your number that you get should be somewhere between your two numbers that you have. So if you get something that's bigger than either of those two, make sure you throw some parentheses around there, or just hit enter before you divide by 2. Okay, mode. Mode is the thing that happens the most. We got a couple repeats. We got 2 8s, we got 2 15s, we got 3 23s. So 23 is the one that happens the most. Okay, so mean, median, mode, just don't mix them around. Alright. And then range. Range is your biggest number minus your smallest number. So biggest number is 42. Smallest number is 4. 42 minus 4 is 38. Boom. That one doesn't start with M. Okay, now, your first and your third quartile are the middle of your halves. So we're going to split this where our median was. Our median was right between the 15 and the 16, so you're going to split this here. So your first quartile is the middle of your lower half. And the third quartile is the middle of your upper half, or your bigger half. So first quartile is the middle of this, third quartile is the middle of that. So middle of this is not these two, 8. Middle of this is not these two, 23. Cool. Last thing we're doing is we're going to take that, and this was an envelope, and we're going to make a box plot of it. So in order to make your box plot, you're going to need 5 things, but most of them are things that we already found. Because we already found our first quartile, that was 8. We already found our third quartile, that was 23. We already found our median, that was 15.5. And the other 2 things you're going to need are your maximum and your minimum, which are just your biggest number and your smallest number. And those were 42. And your minimum was 4. So then if we want a box plot, we're just going to want some numbers that go from something near 4 to something near 42. I'm just going to start at 0 and count by tens. And feel free to count by whatever you like. I just think tens are nice. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay. And then on the box plot, your minimum and your maximum get dots. So we got a dot at 4. This eyeball where 4-ish is there. And a dot at 42, so a little bit more than 40. And then your first quartile, your median, and your third quartile get lines. So you got a line at 8. We got a line at 15, so about halfway between 10 and 20 is 15.5. And then we got a line at 23, so about, a little bit more than 20. Closer to the 20 than the 30. And I'm not going to dock you for how well you eyeball things. Just make sure you're somewhere between 20 and 30 if you're looking for 23. And then we're going to make a box out of those 3 things and connect your dots to that box. So, your minimum and your maximum get dots. These 3 get lines. And then you connect them. And you make a box. Alright, and that is it for the chapter review. Hopefully that was pretty painless. Go ahead and send me an email once you're done watching this video and have yourself some good notes, and I will send you a link to the test. Alright, see you